Well, due to time constraints, I'm afraid I'm going to have to rush through this video real quick, and I apologize, but it's getting real late. Spent a lot of time on the George Michael, talking about the George Michael song, I Want Your Sex, plus I'm running late again tonight. At number 9, up from number 19 on my fantasy playlist, Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson, If You're Nasty, with the Pleasure Principle fantasy playlist of July 4th, 1987, Off of Control. This is the only song Off of Control that was not written and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Basically, they produced this whole album, except for that one song off the album. It was written and produced by a guy named Monte Moyer. Monte Moyer, he is an associate of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. He played with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and the group The Time. This was back earlier in the 80s, a group that Prince had assembled, and Jungle Love and what was it, the Bird, Ice Cream Castles. I already mentioned those songs in the previous video, so I don't want to get carried away by that. The album Control by Janet Jackson was recorded at Flight Time Studio in Minneapolis. Whoa, that's a long way from her home in California and the cold climes of Minnesota. But Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis thought it was very important that if Janet Jackson was going to embrace her independence from her famed family, she would have to record far away from them to establish more distance between her and her famous family, particularly as Michael Jackson, of course, had a number of hits, and Jermaine Jackson also had a number of hits too. And oh boy, she really hit it big off this album. Janet Jackson, the first female artist in history to have 5 number 1 hits on the R&B charts off the same album. That's Janet. Miss Jackson, If You're Nasty. I remember that. All right, this is Janet Jackson with the Pleasure Principle at number 9.